he is an officer who would do his duty to its fullest. He would never ever bring communalism or any sorts of greed, fear, nothing of that sort. I was 19, he was 20 when we fell in love, decided to get married, and now it's almost 34 years we have been married, but I still very proudly talk about my husband. Yes, they just want to implicate Sanjeev. That is so certain, and they are doing it so fast. Atmosphere of fear everywhere. My phones are being tapped. I am being watched. I am being followed. I met with an accident. I still have hope for the people of India. I still have faith in the judiciary of India. I also want people of India to be with me in this particular thing. Because see, there is nobody to question them right now. The problem is there. They do whatever they want to. You won't believe, every 10 minutes a call comes from Kerala. Kerala is so special to us. Every 10 minutes, a man, woman, okay? Hello ma'am, is it Shweta ji? I'm talking from Kerala. My support to you. And it gives tremendous strength, tremendous. Yes. I have to bring my husband home. When we got married for 33 years, we had promised that we'll grow old together. So this is like not the situation which I had anticipated. I'll have to bring him home at any cost.
Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt, a former IPS officer in Gujarat cadre, has now become a symbol of fight against the Narendra Modi brand of politics of hatred in Gujarat and elsewhere in India. He and his family have been targeted for 2 decades, very specifically after he testified before inquiry commissions and courts about the inaction or the passive role played by Narendra Modi in 2002 communal riots in Gujarat while Mr. Modi was the Chief Minister. Now Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt has been convicted and sentenced for life imprisonment for a 3-decade-old custodial death case, which was apparently plotted by the political establishment to settle political scores. Now, Shweta Bhatt, the life partner of Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt, is traveling the nation appealing support of her fellow citizens to fight the case, to fight for justice. Welcome to Kerala, and you are welcome to Calicut on behalf of DoolNews.
Thank you.
First of all, we would like to know, were you anticipated this kind of a situation where you are left alone outside the jail and Mr. Sanjeev is put up in jail and you have to carry on the case, you have to proceed on with all the legal battles?
No, never ever had I anticipated it. I think no wife would ever anticipate such a thing. I always believed that my husband is a very honest man, and he is. So a man standing with ethics and morals, and so I think he is doing nothing wrong, so nothing wrong would be done to him. That was a simple logic with which we were living. Do good and do good happens to you. But I think that in this era, that is a very old-fashioned proverb. So, see, we are into this situation right now.
Oh, how Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt came to the opposite side of Modi? The most of IPS officers and IAS officers sided with him and Mr. Amit Shah, and they don't face any kind of problem like this. How did Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt came on the opposite side of Modi?
See, there are certain things which are not deliberately done or they are not planned. They just happen. So, he is an officer who would do his duty to its fullest. He would never ever bring communalism or any sorts of greed, fear, nothing of that sort. If something is wrong, he would go there, attend to it and finish it off. So this is the way he is, a very strong man. You would be surprised, like when he was superintendent of police in Sabarmati jail during 2002 and 3. There, when he was transferred out,
Yes.
4,000 prisoners went on hunger strike.
Staged a dharna.
Yeah.
A hunger strike.
Yes, 8 or 10 of them tried to commit suicide. Why? Because he was being transferred. He was such a popular police officer there. Why? What did he do there? He gave them respect. That's the thing. He talked to them. He solved their problems. Anyone who didn't have specs, they were given specs. A man who wanted dentures, those were given. Their problems, legal problems were being tackled. So small things. Plates were introduced in the prison. Otherwise, there were no plates to eat. Pure food, good milk. So very small things, but those were introduced. Now, on the day of Diwali, gajar ka halwa was given to the prisoners. Now, these are the things. He is that sort of a person, very sensitive. He would put others' need before his needs. And that
So
same person...
the substance of his character has a role in...
It has. He always believed that if you are not sensitive to your public, then how can you be a police officer? If you are an insensitive, greedy cop who constantly sees for his promotion and seeks for his I don't want to do this because I would then displease my political bosses, then how can you serve the public? They are public servants. They are not a servant of any particular politician or a particular judicial officer. No. So, he is a man with guts, very outspoken, yes, very straightforward in his dealings. Even now, after being in jail for 9.5 months, he is still a very strong man. I get strength from him, in fact. I was 19, he was 20 when we fell in love, decided to get married, and now it's almost 33, 34 years we have been married. But I still very proudly talk about my husband, yes.
Most people believe that this particular case where Mr. Bhatt is convicted is politically motivated and it is concocted. But the court is convinced to sentence him for life imprisonment for 30 years. How that happens? How the court is convinced?
This is a total miscarriage of justice, I would say. I don't know whether the court is convinced or doing this out of fear or greed or I don't know what is the reason behind it, but this is not justice because there is no basis for this case. It's a 30-year-old case first. The government was constantly protecting. Till 2011, government was protecting the office. They have whatever was done in due duty of.
Right.
According to 197, all officers are protected under this section. Any officer,
as usual.
Usually yes. This is an extraordinary case, yes. So usually yes. So, like any person performing a duty, a police officer, he doesn't have that fear that suppose if I raid there or if I arrest this one, then this particular person would go out and then file a complaint against me. No, it is not. What is to be done is to be done. But in this particular case, after 2011, when my husband deposed before the Nanavati Commission, the government took a U-turn. That very day, till then, sanction was not given. Even today, sanction is not been given to prosecute. According to that law, no court of law can prosecute a person. But still, they are. The same 197 section was not granted to Vanjara and so many other police officers. And they went out free because of that sanction which was not granted by the government. It is still not being granted to Sanjeev Bhatt, but still he is being prosecuted.
But what exactly is the case?
See, it's a 30-year-old case. It happened on 30th October 1990. Advani ji had taken out the Rath Yatra and it was stopped by Mulayam Singh Yadav there. And because it was stopped, there were riots all over India. Same riots broke out in Jamjodhpur as well. That was the first time when Babri was also attacked.
Yes.
And there were 133 rioters. There was curfew was announced, but even in the curfew, 133 rioters were seen out at arsoning masjids and burning Muslim houses and all those things. So the local police had already arrested 133 rioters. They were put behind the bars by the local police and they were there. Sanjeev, it was not his jurisdiction. The SP of the district tells Sanjeev that you are somewhere near that place, Jam Jodhpur, so you go there first. I will be reaching afterwards. So he goes there. Long before he goes there, they were already arrested and put behind the bars. So he was not in the scene at all. Now this thing happens. The people who were arrested, never ever complained of any ill treatment, torture, beating up, nothing. They were there that night and the first morning they were transferred to judicial custody. Sanjeev goes there at 1:30 and in the morning they were transferred. They were not even brought before him. So there is no question of him beating or anything of that sort. When they are put behind the bars, there is a procedure that the jail doctor examines them. A report is being filed, no bruises, nothing is been seen. When they are taken out of the jail, again the same report is being filed, nothing in that report. They never ever complained about anything to the Sipai, to the PSI, PI, nobody. Then they were brought before the magistrate before sending them to the judicial custody. There also they were specifically asked, okay, do you have any problem, anything? Nothing at all. They came walking in, they went walking out. That's it. So this is what happens. After 18 days, that particular man dies outside the custody.
18 days after he was released from
the jail. So maybe he had his personal reasons or whatever. Because when they were arrested, you don't take their history, what he's suffering from. If a person is suffering from cancer and if he's arrested and what something happens to him afterwards, then how would a policeman know that? But any which way, so that happened. His body was given to the family from Rajkot. There also the family had no problem, nobody complained, he also did not complain, the doctors treated him. He never complained to the doctors as well. There was nothing found in the doctor's report as well. Some 4 or 5 of doctors treated him. Nothing at all, nothing nowhere. Even after his death, nothing in the post-mortem also. No external, internal, nothing. Now when they were taking him back, they stopped at a place called Jamnagar for chai pani. There some VHP people contacted them and told them, okay, why don't you do post-mortem? You will get 2 lakh rupees. So that is when they filed an application. In the application they wrote, and that application was later converted into an FIR. This is the
And
thing.
even after that, up to the 2002 riot, the state government was by the side of its officials.
Yeah.
And immediately after the riot, when Sanjeev taken this position, they shifted their mind.
Either you are with us or you are against us.
Yes.
You opining or you could have a different opinion or somebody cannot disagree, that is not agreeable. So you have to agree to us, to whatever we say. So this is a basic thing. No freedom of speech, nothing. Even after this case was filed, it got reopened and everything, 30-year-old case.
Right. You were repeatedly saying about the unity of the people is the answer for this situation.
Yeah.
Do you believe this justice can be done in a political situation like this, when Mr. Narendra Modi has won, again he has won an election with a brutal majority, and he has 5 whole years left before him? Do you believe that you will get justice?
Do you think so? We are that deaf and dumb people of India that they won't react now after seeing such gross misjustice being done to Sanjeev Bhatt? Do you think so? I still have hope from the people of India. I still have faith in the judiciary of India. I think there have to be some judge who would really feel that he should give a fair judgment without fear or greed. And I'm waiting for that day. Yes, I have faith in the judiciary. Yes.
And what about the public mood in Gujarat? Do you face any kind of pressure, public pressure or a kind of social ostracizing or excommunication
No.
like that?
People are with us, so that is not a question. There are constantly people coming to us, everything. But yes, there is constantly an atmosphere of fear everywhere. My phones are being tapped. I am being watched. I am being followed. I met with an accident, and it seems it was a very deliberate way of hitting my car and pushing it to the railing by a driver who was driving a huge dumper. There was no papers, no number plates, no license, nothing. So such things, yes, do create suspicious. I have no security at my house. It was removed. Now after 35 years of services, doing your job absolutely honestly, fearlessly, if an officer demands that his family should be safe or secured, is it too much? I don't think so.
Do you believe Congress Party can help you in this thing? You were the candidate of Congress Party, supported by Congress Party in 2012 against Modi. Do you believe in Congress Party's support for this, or are you expecting something from Congress Party more than you are getting now?
I somehow am not expecting anything from anybody in particular right now. What I expect is the public support, that's it. So yes, public has to be with me. If people want to come, if any party would want to come and support me, they are more than welcome. But somehow, somewhere, I don't go to people and ask for that, especially the parties. I don't do that.
Or you won't approach any political party for it?
I don't do that. Personally, I don't do that because I firmly believe that this is not a case or this is not a problem just of an officer and his family.
Right.
This is a thing which concerns each and every citizen of India. So I would rather, taking this opportunity, tell all the police officers and their wives that please do come out.
So you are sternly believing that this case has to be legally fought?
I have to fight it legally.
Yes.
But I also want people of India to be with me in this particular thing. Because see, there is nobody to question them right now. The problem is there. They do whatever they want to. The way this case is handled, it's not proper. We are not being given a fair trial also. Why? They just want to implicate Sanjeev. That is so certain and they are doing it so fast. But why? What is the haste and why are they doing it? So that should be the concern of the people of India. In fact, you arrest him in one case which is 23 years old, which has no base, nothing at all, absolutely already investigated and stayed by the Supreme Court. You reinvestigate the already investigated case. So that is one thing. And you don't give him bail on that pretext for almost 9.5 months. So there you are going extremely slow. On the other hand, there is a case which is 30 years old, which has no basis, no nothing at all, and you expedite it so fast that you don't give documents, you don't witness, you don't allow us to examine or cross-examine witnesses. You give a list of 300 and you wind it up so fast after examining 29. And those 29 has nothing to do with the case, majority. All important witnesses are not called. CID crime has particularly investigated the case and they gave the verdict that Sanjeev Bhatt never arrested. They were not in his custody and he is innocent. You don't take that into consideration. The documents on which the government relied before Nanavati Commission, that they want to protect the officer. Those documents, which were those documents? We would like to have them now because on those basis we would also like to put our defense. Those documents are not given. They are said that they are destroyed. The case is on, but the documents are destroyed. Who destroyed them? Nobody knows. Why? Nobody knows. When? Nobody knows. We are not allowed any defense witnesses, not a single one. Why? It is a right. Even accused has a right to offer fair trial. That we are not allowed. There is one Dr. Narayan Reddy. He is an expert in forensic medicine. He had opined, after seeing all the test papers, after all treatment papers of the deceased, he got into details of each and every doctor's opinion on that particular thing, and then he opined. We told them, at least allow us one defense witness, Mr. Reddy. He can come and he can explain and you ask them questions. He is not allowed. Why? Is this a fair trial? No. Then
Yes.
what are the reasons behind all these things? You just want to pronounce the judgment and set him for life imprisonment. 302 is not a joke. The entire family has gone like it. I am shattered by this judgment.
Did you visit Sanjeev after the conviction? And
And
what
we
is
were
his?
together on that day. He was
Yeah.
brought to the Jamnagar
right.
court. I was also in the Jamnagar
What
court.
is the situation in the jail?
He was disappointed. He calls me Betu, like, see Betu, this is what I get after 35 years of service. It's sad. It is. I agree with him. See, at one point there were standards that you have to be honest, you have to be full of ethics, you should do right things. You know, those were the things people were proud of. Now, I see officers overperforming to please their political bosses and they take pride in that. I see judicial officials out of sheer greed and fear, or maybe I think greed is more, fear is less. Out of sheer greed of becoming something somewhere, they can do anything and they are happy doing that.
So, what are your immediate plans in this case?
This is a legal battle for me. I'll have to go to the High Court. I'll go to the High Court with an appeal. Yes.
And you are traveling nationwide?
Yes. Wherever people call me,
Yeah.
wherever there is a support, they call me. I do that. I appeal.
What are you expecting from Kerala? What can Kerala do for you?
You won't believe, every 10 minutes a call comes from Kerala. Kerala is so special to us. Every 10 minutes, a man, woman, okay, hello ma'am, is it Shweta ji? I'm talking from Kerala. My support to you. And it gives tremendous strength to me, tremendous. Yes. So, I need that support. Please continue supporting me. I will need all the support I can because I have to bring my husband home. When we got married for 33 years, we had promised that we'll grow old together. So this is like not the situation which I had anticipated. I'll have to bring him home at any cost.
We wish every
Thank you
success
so
in this
much.
fight.
Thank you so
And
much.
thanks for coming over here and allowing this interview to DoolNews.
Thank you, Kerala. Thank you so much. Thank you.